Okay, we're back again here in the glass bead game, and the next book I wanted to read out of was called About Time by Paul Davies, and there's a two-page chapter in here called The Quest for Eternity. In the madcap world of modern Western society, where time is money, railways, airline schedules, television programs, even cooking are subject to the tyranny of the clock. Our hectic lives are firmly bolted to the treadmill of time. We are slaves of our past and hostages to the future. But was it always thus? Running like a common thread through the history of human thought, east and west, north and south, is a belief that the entire paradigm of human temporality is rooted in some sort of monstrous illusion. It is but an elaborate product of the human mind. And likewise, time cannot itself exist. But from the flight of things we get a sense of time. No man, we must confess, feels time itself, but only knows of time from flight or rest of things. Thus wrote the Roman poet-philosopher Lucretius in the first century epic De Run Natura. From such unsettling ideas, it is but a small step to believe that the passage of time can be controlled or even suspended by mental power. As we discover in the following haunting words of the 16th century mystical poet Angelus Silesius, time is of your own making. Its clock ticks in your head. The moment you stop thought, time too stops dead. For such temporal relativists, the true reality is vested in a realm that transcends time, the land beyond time. Europeans call it eternity. Hindus refer to it as moksha, and Buddhists as nirvana. For the Australian Aborigines, it's the dream time. Angelus Silesius again, do not compute eternity as light years after year. One step across that line called time, eternity is here. In our struggle to come to terms with the mental and physical reality, nothing vexes us more than the nature of time. The paradoxical conjunction of temporality and eternity has troubled man through the ages. Plato concluded that the fleeting world of daily experience is only half real, an ephemeral reflection of a timeless domain of pure and perfect forms, which occupy the realm of eternity. Time itself is but an imperfect, moving image of eternity, which remains forever at one, but which we human beings incorrigibly reify. The past and future are created species of time, which we unconsciously but wrongly transfer to the eternal essence. The abiding tension between the temporal and the eternal pervades the world's great religions and has led to generations of heated and sometimes violent theological debate. Is God inside or outside of time, temporal or eternal, process or becoming? According to Plotinus, a 3rd century pagan, to exist in time is to exist imperfectly. Pure being, i.e. God, must therefore be characterized by the utter absence of any relation to time. For Plotinus, time represents a prison for human beings, separating us from the divine realm and true and absolute reality. Belief that God lies outside of time altogether also became the established doctrine among many early Christian thinkers, such as St. Augustine, Boethius, and Anselm, starting a tradition that continues to the present day. Like Plato and Plotinus before him, Augustine places God in the realm of eternity, supreme above time, because it is never-ending present. In this existence, time does not pass, rather God perceives all time at once. Your years are completely present to you all at one because they are at a permanent standstill. They do not move on, forced to give way before the advance of others, because they never pass at all. Your today is eternity. Thus, the God of classical Christianity not only exists outside of time, but also knows the future as well as the past and present. These far-reaching ideas have been subject to detailed analysis and received some sharp criticism by the medieval church, as well as by modern theologians and philosophers. The core of the debate is the daunting problem of how to build a bridge between God's presumed eternity on the one hand and the manifest temporality of the physical universe on the other. Can a God who is completely atemporal logically relate in any way at all to a changing world, to human time? Surely it is impossible for God to exist both within and outside of time. After centuries of bitter debate, there is still no consensus among the theologians about the solution to this profound conundrum. These tangled issues are reviewed in greater depth in my book, The Mind of God, for those readers who are interested. So that was just a quick passage out of the book About Time by Paul Davies.